Well, let's turn to a little bit of medtech, and it's always a big day for any startup when they start generating revenue, and ASX listed 4D Medical has just banked its first clinical SaaS revenue. That's right, software as a startup, even in that space. Tell us about it. The founder and CEO, Dr. Andreas Fouras, is online to tell us about that and the respiratory imaging technology the company is looking to take overseas as part of its international expansion plans. Dr. Fouras, great to have you on the show. Is it always good when you see that first moment of money dropping in the bank account from an idea you've been working on for a long time? Just tell us about it.
Absolutely does feel great, to be on the train as it leaves the station. I think that, we have some really fantastic fundamentals behind what we're doing. Fantastic opportunity for massive market, fantastic opportunity for really very significant margins up around the 90+% mark, and but to have customers put their hand in their pocket, pay for the technology. Our core technology that we really are going to base this business on is incredibly exciting.
So for people who aren't familiar with 4D Medical, just take us through the business and the spaces that you're working in.
Yeah, so look, we are starting off in the lung health space, and that's been an incredible roller coaster over the last few years of COVID. However, our business is taking low value imaging from existing technology, with this first product taking it from X-ray machines, with our products that are coming out later this year, early next year, taking low value imaging of CT scanners, and then significantly upvaluing that technology through the use of our software. So we apply additional diagnostics over the top of those existing images in the cloud, and then deliver back a high value report back to the patient and the doctor.
Because of course the company has already been generating significant revenue. I think it was $9 million you reported, with that inaugural SaaS revenue kicking in as well. You've had an interesting and adventurous time lately with the, do I call it the 15 scanner or the XV scanner that has been rolled out here in Sydney at the Prince of Wales Hospital. Just how long did you spend working on this, and where did this idea come from in the first place that inspired you to head down this path?
So I'm a mechanical engineer by training, and I was working doing imaging in wind tunnels, where you photograph, you take images of what's happening as you put a model or a car, an aeroplane in a wind tunnel, take those images, and then from there, we would apply our software tools to work out what's the lift and the drag and the turbulence and so on. And the idea was about 2005 that we could take that same technology and apply it inside the human body. So it's been well over a decade of work to take the technology, prove it up in humans, have it adapted to not tightly controlled scientific equipment in the laboratory, but the equipment you find everywhere across hospitals all around the world, get the FDA, the TGA to clear it, and now, as we say, having that first software as a service revenue. Also, as you said, we're making great progress with our XV scanner, which is very exciting, because that's going to be another opportunity. Gives more choices to hospitals to either use X-ray equipment, CT equipment, or a dedicated XV scanner, which is manufactured right now here in Australia, and rolling out to hospitals in Australia and the United States.
Now, as well as being a Melbourne-based company, you also have premises in LA. Tell us a little bit about this international ambition. You mentioned the FDA a little bit earlier. Where are you on that approvals process?
So we have our first product approved by the FDA, and we expect to have our second product approved by the FDA later this year, around Christmas this year, or perhaps early next year. But with our second product being approved in Australia, hopefully by around the middle to end of this year. But we're not stopping there. We have global ambitions. We want to take this technology everywhere across the world. Around the world, there's about $40 billion worth of lung diagnostics being done year in, year out. That's only going to increase with COVID and long COVID here to stay. And we see this as something that we can export all around the world from Australia.
Well, you just mentioned that number and kind of stole my next question to an extent, but given that it is a 31 billion US, 41 million Australian opportunity, how much of that can 4D Medical sort of carve off? And will it be about driving down the cost and the overall cost of analysis for when it comes with dealing with issues around lungs?
Look, as a software as a service opportunity, we have inherently low cost baked into what it is that we do. And we take, as I said, low cost, low value imaging and turn that into high value imaging. So we can provide better, richer diagnostics to doctors and patients, save them and the healthcare system a lot of money, and at the same time have really great returns for us and our investors.
So I understand that the XV is now in, I think, 4 locations across Australia over the next 12 months to 2 years. How many hospitals can we expect to see it in, or how many do you want it in?
Look, I think the beauty of this technology is that everyone has lungs, and every hospital around the world has equipment that we're compatible with. So there will be X-ray or CT equipment, or perhaps eventually a dedicated XV scanner at every hospital around the world. And so the opportunities really are limitless. We're expecting to go, to start to rapidly increase the rate of installation of sites, and have dozens of sites in place by the end of this year, and next year, who knows?